Hi, this is Told Welcome, and today we're looking at Gruul Landfall. Everyone knows that there's the Hydra deck going around, but I wanted to make a budget version of this kind of deck, and I think we've succeeded mostly. There's just 2 rare cards in the deck that's craftable, is the Biotech Specialist, and then the lands, which you could substitute for whichever lands that you have, but those are the only like rare or mythic cards. I think these are all rares anyway. But kind of the idea is, the Mossborn Hydra comes in a free deck, so we get 1 copy of that. And if you didn't have that, you could just go with 4 Wild Wood Scourges. So the Scourge is whenever you put a counter on another creature, that's not non-Hydra, you put a +1 counter on this creature. So it works really good with the Sazh Chocobo. And the Seedship Agrarian, 3 and a green for a 3/3, and when a land enters, you can put a +1/+1 counter on it. When it gets tapped, it makes a lander token. Edge of Eternities. You can see we got like a lot of Eternities cards in this package. So we got the Gene Pollinator, which also makes us lander tokens. We got like I said, the Biotech Specialist is just a way to do some little bit extra damage that we need, and mostly it's more for the lander token, because we were really struggling to get lander tokens created, and we really want those lander tokens so that we can, pop off with the Chocobo, or maybe the Hydra, or, the Shoopuf, where land enters and you get +1 counters, or even the Fat Chocobo makes a little birdie that, gets +1/+0. And then we got the Terra Pact Intimidator, 1 in a red for a 2/1, and when it enters, opponent chooses either you get 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature, or you get 2 lander tokens. So it works really great with the Scourge. You make them into a tough decision. If they want to give us counters, we're going to get it like 3 counters, or ideally they give us 2 lander tokens, which they don't really realize is what we want from this creature, because it just powers off. 1 Biosynthic Burst. It doesn't have hexproof, remember that. I've used it like 2 times now on stuff, and it doesn't have hexproof. It only protects from indestructibility, but you untap and you get reach, and you get +1 counter. The Lithobraking is just our sweeper, so it does 2 damage to each creature. It makes a lander token, and then usually you have to sack the lander token to do 2 damage to each creature, but if the opponent's going wide, normally our creatures are going to have at least 2 toughness, maybe 3, they should be at least above 2, right? If we need to use this, kind of break glass, and we don't have to sack an artifact, we can just make a lander token, so it's just a way to do that. Tanuk is a way, it does 1 damage when a land enters, and then if you drew a second card, so if we crack a lander token over to Fabled Passage, we get to draw a card. I don't know if this belongs in the deck, but, card draw is kind of rough that we need it. Drix Fatemaker gives trample to all our creatures with +1/+1 counters. Also makes a +1 counter on a creature. We can warp it, so we get 2 +1 counters if we want to do it the slow way. I don't know I always warp it, but I'm sure there's probably situations where you shouldn't. Trying out this Eusocial Engineering, 3 and 2 green, and when a land enters, you make a 2/2 creature, and so we could warp it in for 2. Play our Fabled Passage on turn 3. We warp it in, play our Fabled Passage, crack it, we get 2/2/2s. That's kind of the dream scenario, but also we could put it out there and then we just have value for later in the game. Fat Chocobo for trample, Shoopuf for giving +1 counters, 1 Overprotect to protect, and then our I missed this card. I missed the resolve. So the Meltstrider's resolve, 1 mana you enchant your creature, it fights up to 1 other creature an opponent controls, and it gets +0/+2 and can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. So that's really good for, like your Chocobos or whatever, and then if you can give them trample, then they're blocking them, they can't kill them type of situation. We got 4 bite downs, and the Burst Lightning, and I think there was some other one. Oh, and the Barrage, I suppose. So a removal choice, and that's the deck. So yeah, let's get into some games, see how we do. Scourge on 2. I think we lead off with a Scourge. think I'm gonna ship the land. Might lead off with the Intimidator. It's not good. We got second. They'll probably give us lander tokens. I mean, what can you do? We went second. We lose. We don't have any other +1 counters for this thing. So that's a question, like, should we mulligan? I don't know. I mean, if they have a land in their hand. If they don't have a land in their hand, we can kill both of their guys. Well, they didn't have a land in their hand. So, yeah. We went second. We go first, we win this game, right? So we warp. Put a +1 counter. We killed one of them. So we get that toughness bonus. I'm just gonna attack in. Trying to stabilize. We have double bite, but I don't know if it's worth it. What a perfect card to have. And they're above our double bite because we went second. So nothing you could do there. Maybe we could hold up the bite in case I had another one of these birds, but you know, that's just kind of the power. I mean, yep. So +1 counter here. Pay 2 life. I mean, being at 3 or being at 1 doesn't really matter, right? I mean, we're not jumping. If they have trample, +3/+3 and trample, it doesn't matter, right? Really need a Death Toucher, would have been great. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're 1 mana, 1 point away from killing them. Technically. Although if they attack in with the Chocobo, do they have a Chocobo kick? Shoopuf. I think they also have a Chocobo kick. That makes a traveling Chocobo bigger. Probably not. I guess not. I mean, maybe we should have bid it instead of, I don't know, attacking. Now they Chocobo kick the Fatemaker, and then we have to double block. They got their Chocobo, we didn't. We don't have like double power or anything. Death Toucher would be great. Can't even do it. Do we give ourselves 1 turn? What gets us out of this? A Death Toucher? I mean, they got their Chocobo, we drew 15 cards and didn't get our Chocobo. That's all that matters, right? I could just leave because I could only draw 1 card, and if it's a Death Toucher, we lose. So, yeah. 1 second. Maybe we need more Shoopufs? I don't know. Just to make every creature a Chocobo? land? Not a land. Well, you're not a land. So it's just mono red burn? So we just have to survive long enough to get the Hydra down. Right? Chocobo? We could sniper. Resolve. I think Hydra for 1? Oh, but then we can't resolve. Sniper. Chocobo. We'll have to kill their creature. While they're tapped out. Seems pretty good. And we get Hydra for 2. Fabled Passage. Assuming the Chocobo lives. We'll get the counter either way. Hydra for 3. Oh, I guess I don't get it this turn. Sniper got Vigilance. Biotech. Fabled Passage. Fabled Passage. Green. I mean, you just have to survive against mono red. If they can't kill you by turn 4, you win, right? I mean, we're popping off, right? So this goes up to a 4, and then it goes up to a 5. This goes up to a 6, so we're attacking in for 10, 11 damage. And we got 2 blockers. No trample, but... No red mana? Meh. Red mana? Black with Intimidator, they're just going to give us counters, I believe. Oh, Intimidator it is, I suppose. Chocobo to trash the town, maybe? They're not going to block. I assume they're going to put lander tokens out. Oh, they didn't put lander tokens. So 2, 3, 4. You're crazy, bro. No cut down. Chocobo. Bite. We had to do it on... Bite the Zealot. Or do we bite Voice of Victory? I think we have to bite the Zealots, right? I have to do it while they're tapped out. I don't want them killing my creature. No attacks. We can attack next turn. That's a lot of surveils. Hydra. Chocobo. I got Blood Witch. It's a lot of damage. Fat Chocobo. Trample next turn. Can we kill him? That's the question. Hydra can come in. I think we gotta push as much damage as we can, right? They're probably attacking me next turn. 6, 7, 8. I mean, we have to put them to lethal this turn. Lethal range, and then we have trample on this. I mean, everything gets trample anyway, but we have +2 counters. So 2, 3, 4. Could kill the Fat Chocobo. Yeah. I don't know if that kills me, but it does give them a lot of life. I mean, there's nothing you can do, right? I don't have a fight spell. Okay, I'm just dead. I don't have a fight spell, nothing I could do. Just had perfect lethal. Chocobo, go. Hydra, Chocobo, pretty good, but a little bit off. On the draw. Excellent. We are at a disadvantage. 10% more likely to lose. Zorius artifacts or just blue artifacts? So next turn they attack me with a 5/4. So we need to kill that. I think. Or have Bite Down ready to kill it. What do you do? I'm gonna hold up Bite Down. I think they're gonna try to turn their creature into a 5/4. Okay. Let's race. Hydra? Hydra. Hail Hydra. Get Linkbreaker. I think it goes either way, but the Fatemaker might be a good one to drop next turn. They're just gonna bounce it, I think. Bouncy, bouncy. Nice. Made it bigger. You're in trouble, bro. I'm not even doing it. Just attack in, bro. Swing away. 2 lands, you're mana screwed. And you're getting killed by creatures that have +1 counters on it. Perfect matchup for us, thank you, Shuffler. Make our Chocobo bigger if you want. You can put Witness Protection on it. Would not be offended by it. So we can attack in with their Agrarian. We could Fatemaker, attack in with their Agrarian, make a lander token. They might have Counterspell. I think we put it here. And we attack in. And this might be lethal? I don't know. 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, next to blockers. We do have lethal on board if they don't block. Everything has trample. But they see the line. Our guy lives because it's a 5/5. Well, we don't kill them, but next turn though. We'll go with this red mana. I mean, turning the Hydra into a legitimate business person is pretty good. But budget, baby! Budget landfall. Chocobo on 1? I take it. Dragon Sniper on 2? Take it. More lands? I need a 4th land. They could, like, Fire Magic. Be devastating. Easy block of my life, dude. You got a card advantage? Yeah, we're not your typical green, mono green, baby. We got some red stuff. Seedship Agrarian. We're not finding our tappers. Like, our tapper guys is really good because you can play this guy, tap him for mana. And then, they could have a blocker, so hold up Burst Lightning. And they could have sweepers, I suppose, but with the mouse package, I'd be surprised. I mean, a 4 mana sweeper I wouldn't be surprised of. They're dead next turn, possibly? The mouse package? Okay. I mean, this is perfect, right? Well, they're playing Mouse Package. They don't have red mana. I mean, this is lethal, I think. And then they get pinged and I draw a card. We'll take out the big guy. That's a beatdown, baby. Slow out the gate. Boros Mice. You know there's new cards. Maybe I should take a look. Can it be better? Chocobo on 1? Chocobo on 2? Shoot. Hydra on 2? I think you do Hydra on 2, right? No green mana on 1. That's the problem with the Verges. That's the only problem with going red. I wonder if there's like another color. Blue, I think. Can you do blue landfall? Simic, is it? Blue-green? Here we want Hydra on 2 with the Vergie. And then Chocobo on 3. We're looking for another land, I think. Ooh. Maybe we'll go no red land. I think green land, I would have kept it. Maybe. I don't even know if we need it. Temur. So that's a landfall mirror, probably. They're the dragon back landfall, so we need to get above 4 power as quickly as possible. So the fight spell would be pretty good. It gives us 2 defense. So play the Chocobo before you play the land. Play the Chocobo before you play the land. They could have bounce spells. They need to get to 6 mana. We need to get to 5 toughness before they get to 6 mana. We kill that? How dangerous is 4 mana? I'm gonna take the risk. Probably we should be killing that because they're gonna put something down that we can't deal with. We don't have that land either. But we do have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can't put them down to 10. What we really want is another land. As per Origins is great. Okay, just attack in. Nothing to see here. Triple Hydra, you know, it's pretty good. I think we'll Biosynth. And turn. Really looking for lands. Threw that land away. That was my mistake. That was +3/+3. Roaming Throne. We really need a land now. Dragon. So it has Ward 2. But we need 2 mana. Let's play this for 1. Pump the Hydras. Attack in. Hit him for 8. Put him down to 6. Keep the board clear. They're still mana away, so we really want to land. They get As per Origins. Bite down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have lethal on board. Perfect. It was important to keep the pressure up and keep their board clear, and they missed the land drop, but obviously we missed a couple land drops too. But we are about to start getting into the meat and potatoes, because once we get the Seedship Agrarian out, now we're going to get some landfall tokens. So I would say, yeah, we can make some adjustments. Well, this is really good. And we definitely need this. We need more of this, right? Want more Gene Pollinators. Do we get rid of Trash the Town for Gene Pollinators? That's our only bit of card draw. We're also on budget. Budget card draw. There's a new artifact in red. It was this one. When it enters, you discard a card and then you can draw 2. And then you could sack it to make it an artifact, a creature, but it gives it around for the Gene Pollinators. And we're looking at trying to get Gene Pollinators up. This creature... I don't want my creatures dying. Green... There's the pantry is really nice, but it's super expensive. There's heritage reclamation. They're just replacing themselves. Like, obviously the fungus is really good. The hunter's talent is interesting. We've used that in the past a lot. That's why I tried to showcase new cards, and we're going with the resolve, which I feel like has been a really great ability. So the ability also, what it also does is that enchanted creature gets +0/+2 and can't be blocked by more than one creature. So that part is really good, and especially in green. And probably, this does give trample. This is really good. It would give us that card draw later in the game, but we just don't have 4 mana to spend, bro. Like, I don't even have the other landfall boy in there. Fenrir is also a consideration at the 3 spot. I believe we want a Tanook. So you could put Fenrir in there to replace that. The Biotech Specialists, I think, have to be in the deck. And so they just pair well with these. I did try... We can look at that in a second, but let's see if there's any more card draw stuff. The Candy Trail is not bad, but it would better be like the Fountain Port Bell, right? Get you a land on top, and then you're able to... The Nutrient Block is interesting. Gain 3 life, draw a card, but this is gain 3 life, draw a card, and you scry. So, arguably better than Nutrient Block. Ramen, gain 3 life, draw a card. Bad. I think that's it. Those would be the things I would be looking at. Like, I really want another 3rd Gene Pollinator, but I don't want to give up the 2nd Dragon Sniper for that. Trash the Town. Definitely... Do you just put the Hunter's Talent in for that? I do like the instant speed ability to give something trample for 3 mana. Or sorry, for 2 mana. So you can give that fat Chocobo trample, surprisingly. But then, that being said, would you just, for 2 mana, just overprotect it? But I want it in there for the card draw. I really like that card. Oh yeah. Yeah, lander tokens. Other cards that we were playing around with was this Lavarl Scout Lander. So you could sacrifice a land or a lander to put 2 into your hand, and the station part is never going to happen, probably. I very rarely, while I was testing it out, could do that, and then I was having trouble getting lander tokens because I had taken out the Biotech Specialists, and usually people just put the counters on this bad boy. So that, tried it out, didn't work. This guy is just okay. I didn't try out the Edge Rovers, so maybe those are good cards, but I don't really want to give my opponent lander tokens and give them access to mana. And that doesn't put a body on the board. Really want bodies. I did have this Scrap Bot in there at one time, but 3 mana for a 3/1 is just not that great. And we're not playing blue. If we were playing blue, we'd probably go with the Biotech Engineer over the Specialist, so it's like a short pivot to blue. I guess you could take the same package. Does it not pay life? Does it just pay 2? Oh, ha 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 ha. We do have blue-green, so we can easily pivot this package over to blue-green and probably get it even more budgety, minus the lands, right? Very pricey on the lands. But you could easily do, just more the cheap fetches. We have the Evolving Wilds, we have the escape tunnel. Probably the escape tunnel I would make sure you have 4 of over this, just because it has more value if you can give something power 2 or less unblockable. But most likely you're sacking it for the lands, but you can definitely do this and just go all basics. Obviously, it's not as good with a heavy lean of green, but yeah, maybe we'll take a look at blue and see if we can go, full on budget and see if we can keep up a pretty good win rate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 2 we went. And before that, as we were tuning, wasn't that, it was like 50% great. So, but I think we got it tuned out pretty good. I would say Trash Town, maybe, Hunter's Talent might be more interesting. And, a few of the flex cards. But, yeah, this has been Told, like, subscribe. See you guys next time.
Do 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 do.